City of Pacifica Planning Commission. This meeting is called to order. May I have a roll call?
Commissioner Hauser, Commissioner Ferguson,
Here.
Commissioner Berman,
Present.
Commissioner Devine,
Present.
Commissioner Redfield,
Present.
Commissioner Godwin, would you leave us on a salute to the flag?
Sure.
Okay, before we get into administrative business, any member of the public wishing to make public comment on any item should complete a speaker card and bring it to the front and hand it to the staff. On the card, please indicate the agenda item number on which you wish to comment or oral communications for items not on the agenda. Members of the public may also participate in the meeting via Zoom or by the dial-in option shown on the screen. Phone number 669-900-6833. Once dialed in, enter conference number 811-5615-8241 and then press the pound key. Once I announce the public comment opportunity for the item on which you wish to comment, press *9 to raise your hand if dialing by phone or the raised hand function in Zoom. If dialing in once identified for your turn to speak, please press *6 to unmute yourself. Wait a few seconds, then begin speaking. Be sure to mute any other broadcast you may be watching, such as Channel 26 or the live stream. I will call each speaker, whether in person or by dial-in, for their public comment opportunity. Okay, so for public comment, public meetings are a limited public forum, meaning there are rules for commenting at these meetings. Comments on non-agendized items must address matters within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Planning Commission, and comments on agendized items must relate to that specific item. If comments do not fall within these categories, the city will provide you with an initial warning to stay within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city or on topic. If the warning is not followed, the chair will direct the city clerk to cut off the microphone, and throughout the warning system, I will seek assistance of the city attorney and identify comments not related to the agenda item or not within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city. With that, we can open oral communications. I have one speaker card, Mr. Greg Wright, former Commissioner Greg Wright.
Good evening. I just wanted to show up and tell you how much I appreciated working with each and every one of you. That includes staff, very much so. I loved the way that we worked together. I loved the way that we trusted each other. I loved the way that we had a diversity of experience, and we made those differences make us all better and come to better decisions. I want to thank each and every one of you so much, and I look forward to working with you on the future on that. Thanks for not just being fellow commissioners, but being dear friends and thinking of what's best for Pacifica. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, having no more speaker cards, do we have anybody on Zoom?
There are no raised hands.
All right, with that, I will close oral communications. Now moving on to the consent items. Do I have a staff report on the consent item tonight?
There's no staff report. The approval of the minutes, we have 3 minutes that were shared and published, and we would like to ask the Planning Commission to take an action on those.
Sorry, apologies, I skipped over that. I've skipped over a couple things. I need to approve the order of agenda, too.
I move that we approve the order of agenda.
Second.
Please vote.
The vote passed unanimously.
And then, were there some comments, I think, on the minutes we had before us tonight?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'll go first. Is that okay? So to start, I know we have three sets of meeting minutes before us. I reached out to staff a couple days ago asking if it's possible for us to review the August 19th minutes at a future meeting alongside two other meeting minutes that we've yet to finalize, which all relate to the same content.
Sure, that would be appropriate, so we can bring all those three minutes together at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you. So then I do have just a few minor clarification comments on the other 2 minutes. So starting at packet page 19, so this is the minutes from
August 5th.
August 5th, thank you. Let's see, about halfway down the page, it says Commissioner Berman stated that she wanted to make sure they were going to the USA. The should be removed, and it's just to USA, because in this case, it's a action. Then my next one is on packet page 25. And the last paragraph, second line, the word funding there, I think should just be funded. Just a minor grammar correction.
What minutes was that from? Sorry, which meeting minutes?
This is August 5th still.
Thank you.
It's the packet page 25.
Thank you.
So another just grammatical error. And then lastly, packet page 27. This is also the August 5th meeting minutes. The large paragraph on the page, there's a sentence 2/3 of the way through that paragraph that says, she knows it will be next to the fire hydrant, but they want the firefighters to know where the hydrants are. In the context of that whole paragraph, I think that sentence reads confusingly and it's not necessary. Not sure how the string of sentences actually tied together, or if just the program that generates the minutes kind of messed it up. But I don't think that sentence is necessary. It's just a little confusing.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Commissioner Godwin?
Yeah, I just have two comments. If you go to page 14, the fourth paragraph down, next to last word, what's written there is median, and that should be medium, because I don't think median makes any sense in that thing, and given I was the one who said it, I certainly didn't mean it, if that's what I said. And then if you continue on to page 20, paragraph 5, there's a discussion about HEV sewer pipe. I don't think that exists. I think you probably meant HDPE sewer pipe. And there's also a reference to PEC pipe, and I'm pretty sure that means PVC pipe, because I know I've seen that. So that's all I had.
Thank you. We made a note of those. Thank you.
And if there's no other comments, I'll look to staff for direction, but for my comments at least, I'm willing to leave it to staff's discretion on just making the corrections. They're mainly grammatical.
Yeah.
And then, do we have to see the minutes again? Okay.
So you don't have to. The last set of minutes, because those comments were sent to staff separately, we had to make those changes and bring them back. Since these changes are being made at the meeting, if you make a motion and approve it with these changes, we'll make those changes.
Perfect. Then I move, oh,
Commissioner Redfield, do you have any comments?
okay.
Sorry.
No, no worries. Thank you. Then I move that we approve the minutes from July 1st, 2024 and August 5th, 2024.
I'll second that.
Please vote.
The vote passed unanimously.
Okay, no designation of liaison to city council tonight. We've already covered oral communications out of order. In that case, that brings us to our consent item. We have one item before us, CDP 459-24. Do we have a staff report on that?
This is only a receive and file item, so there is no staff report on it.
Okay. I think in the past that we have gotten them, but I'll take your word on it. We're receiving and filing. Does anyone have any communications or deliberations? Commissioner Redfield.
If I can just get a question on the packet itself. Condition number on page 85, condition number 18, and that's regarding sewer lateral on this particular project. And that it just says city or the applicant shall obtain a sewer lateral compliance certificate. My assumption is that is camera as is standard practice before the project, given its cost. Is that correct?
I can answer that. The wastewater division applied this condition, and wastewater will review and approve during the building permit phase.
And that is also in that is that pipe, the existing pipe is VCP, vitrified clay pipe. Is that correct? The original piping. It's stated in the plans, page 96. In the drawing, it shows VCP, which is...
That's the city's sanitary sewer you're looking at?
Correct. And I'm just curious on that to make sure that is cameraed. VCP is definitely prone to issues given its age, which isn't that old, but it still has an issue, and it will be tapped into with the new connection, the 4-inch lateral coming from the ADU.
Could you please repeat that question? I'm trying to find it on the drawing.
I said I'm just curious if the actual material of the 6-inch main that's shown on the drawing, which goes to this, it actually has a manhole connection on the upper street on Olympian, and it goes obviously downhill. And it shows a 6-inch VCP, and I'm just curious if that's the correct material, vitrified clay pipe, which is definitely usually bell-mouthed and prone to root issues and whatnot.
We can ask for a clarification. These plans were reviewed by the Public Works Department, and we did not get any comments on that, but we can ask for a clarification.
Okay, I just want to make sure that passes muster with wastewater as far as cambered and adding, obviously, a connection to it.
Thank you for that comment.
That's my question. Thank you.
Oh, I thought I read that drawing note differently. I thought that they were tying into the existing lateral. The existing lateral was already punched in, but no matter, DPW is not here to answer anyways. Any other comments or questions? Guess we should open up oral comments. On the off chance. I have no speaker cards, but do we have anybody on Zoom that, with the hand raised?
Elizabeth, do you mind displaying the Zoom information?
Please bear with us, we're having some technical difficulties.
There are no raised hands at this time.
In that case, I'll close public comment and bring it back to the commission. I had a procedural question. I don't know if this is just a changing of the guard, but it seems that there's an inconsistency of when we get an administrative coastal development permit versus when we bring it to the commission for review. And sometimes I think that we don't even receive them to file. Maybe that's wrong.
There are certain administrative coastal permits that are under the purview of the Community Development Director to approve them and bring them to the Planning Commission to file, to receive and file. And especially for ADUs, it's because there's no need for any approval by a approval body. This is more of something that's in our municipal code that requires us to presented at the Planning Commission to be received and filed. Is there anything you want to add, Katie?
Yeah, I'm happy to add to that.
Yeah.
Within our code, ADUs within the coastal zone can be exempt if they're zoned as R1 and they're not located within the appeals jurisdiction. However, ADUs for multifamily residences and ADUs within the appeals jurisdiction, such as this one located in Pedro Point, require an administrative coastal development permit. We've had 4 ACDPs for ADUs since December 2022. This would be the 4th. And the process of which, that occurs is the director receives the staff report, which is the traditional staff report we would usually prepare for a CDP. The director is the one who approves of it, signs the resolution. There is an appeal period following the director's decision. That appeal period is by notice. We put it not only in the newspaper, but we mail it to the surrounding neighbors. And then following that, depending on, when the next planning commission meeting is, the director will do the report out, and then staff will send the final local action notice to the California Coastal Commission, initiating an appeal period if it is located in the appeals period. This project we have sent the final local action notice to Coastal already, and the appeal period has ended with them and no appeals were filed.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Ask one quick question of staff. Had this been, it said the notice was posted for public appeal, is that correct, even with an ADU?
That is correct.
And if there had been an appeal, what would the process have gone through?
Yes, I believe that if there was a public appeal, then if it was an appeal for the local appeal period, then it would be appealed to the Planning Commission. And if it were appealed by the Planning Commission, or if someone appealed the Planning Commission's decision, it would go to City Council. If it was appealed through the Coastal Commission appeals period, that process would go through the Coastal Commission and it would not be at the local level.
And that counts for ADUs as well. So even though it's a ministerial
Yes.
Permitting process.
Yes, so we do allow for public comment during the review phase of an ACDP. It does not require a public hearing, so that's why we present and file the report with the Planning Commission. But again, we do accept public comment. Previous ACDPs that we've had has supplied public comment. Most recently, we had an ACDP for 20 Carmel a few months ago. They did have public comment, but it was in support of the addition of off-street parking. This project did not receive any public comment from the surrounding neighbors. And then in addition to a mailer notice and the legal ad, we also post on site when we receive the application and it's deemed complete, when the director is reviewing it for consideration, and then once the director has, or we notice once the director has made their approval, and that initiates the local appeal period.
All right, excellent, thank you.
So just for clarification, do we make a motion to receive and file?
Yes.
Okay. I move that the commission received and filed this ACDP.
Second. Please vote.
The motion passed unanimously.
Okay, that's it for our consent items tonight. I'll bring it back to the commission for commission communications.
I'll start. I just wanted to give Commissioner Wright some praise for his time on Planning Commission. I know that he joined when we were in the middle of the general plan review and eventually approvals. And that was a really, really tough time because it was during COVID. So there were a lot of challenges. And Commissioner Wright has always been so thoughtful, especially with the public's concerns and trying to make decisions that are for the good of all of Pacifica. And I think he's going to do a great job on council.
Yeah, I second that as well. Commissioner Redfield?
I'd just like to mirror that, those comments. So yeah, Greg obviously is moving on, moving up, was awesome. I think there were so many questions that Mr. Wright thoughtfully brought forward. Sometimes to the point where it's like, I never, many times it's like, I never thought of that. And that's the whole point of having questions from a variety of commissioners. I think Greg did an excellent job and look forward to him being on council. So that's congratulations.
I'd like to make that unanimous and say I think he provided a lot of grease to make the Planning Commission run smoothly among the commissioners, and I think we're going to miss that.
Well, we'll leave it to him to appoint his own replacement.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we can move on to staff communications.
Thank you. I do have a few announcements. I would like to introduce David Storer. He has joined the Community Development Department team as an interim consultant in the Deputy Director position while Samantha Updegrave, the new director, takes her post on Wednesday. So, and after that, that recruitment will happen, and a deputy director will be appointed to that post. So, David has graciously agreed to help through this transition as I depart and Samantha comes on board. So there's some continuation. So, David's been with us for a week now, and he's been sitting in every meeting I've been sitting in. So he's getting up to speed.
Does that mean, Kavita, this is your last meeting with us?
Yes, it is my last meeting, and last meeting of the year, and last meeting for me as well. So the time has gone by really fast. Just a reflection from myself. I've been here for 6 months. I started in mid-June, and so I came on for a 4 to 6 month contract, and my 6 months are ending. So Friday is my last day. So the new director will start on Wednesday, so I'll have a couple of days of overlap to go through a transition. And I work for M Group, so there are a lot of M Group contract planners working on projects with the city, so they will still have access to me if anything comes up, so I'm not completely out of the picture.
Well, I appreciate your service here. It was a pleasure, if brief.
Thank you. I did have a couple of items I did want to report on. We've had a very busy last few weeks. You may have seen the notifications that have gone out. Last week, we submitted the LCLUP draft to the Coastal Commission, and the staff worked really hard, including Katie, to put this together. It was a huge packet, a box this big. That is, the hard copies are being delivered to them this week. And the Coastal Commission anticipates to review and agendize this somewhere around April or May of next year. And the plan is to hold a hearing closer to, somewhere in Northern California, closer to Pacifica, possibly in Pacifica. So all this is news that will be upcoming, and you will be getting regular reports on those as we go through that. And the second big milestone that we hit was the housing element rezoning and implementation EIR is on the street as of Friday. It's out for a 45-day public review period, and hopefully we'll get some really good comments. And then we also submitted our final set of comments to HCD this afternoon with some minor comments, so we're hoping that we'll be closing that loop as well. So we've been busy this last few months, and we've had some milestones that we were able to cross off while I was still here. And finally, as I did mention, the new Community Development Director, Samantha, will be joining us on Wednesday, so you'll be seeing her soon. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask a clarification question?
Sure.
And I'm sure we went over this before, but I don't remember what the process was. So if the housing element is out for public comment, or is it, it got resubmitted to HCD?
So there are two aspects to this. So the housing element itself is being reviewed by HCD, and then because we have rezonings and other implementation programs in there, that has to go through an EIR before, and has to be adopted by the city before HCD will sign off on that, saying we are actually making space for those housing units. So two different aspects.
Right. So my question is, if we think we're really close to getting HCD's approval, but we're still in the process of the EIR approval, once City Council approves the EIR, does everything have to go back to HCD again for another review?
So the HCD will be reviewing a resolution. We are going to have them review the resolution, and once they're happy with the document, they're going to provide something called a conditional compliance letter. So it's in waiting. So once the EIR is done and the City Council approves that, then they will issue the letter of compliance.
Okay.
So, and David has a lot of experience with housing elements, so we are hoping that he will be a great value to this part of the process.
Great. Well, David, welcome, and look forward to working with you. Yeah, if you want to tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. I'm a retired planning director kind of guy, planning director for about 15, 20 years. I did stop public service about 20 years ago. My last job was assistant city manager in Elk Grove, and worked as a planning director in Sonoma, Folsom, mostly Northern California. And I've been just doing temporary assignments, most recently with the city of Winters, the city of Vallejo, and here now in Pacifica. So happy to share my experiences, and I think this will be about my 5th housing element certified, all with different agencies and all during different cycles. So happy to be here to help out for a short time and get Samantha on board.
Great, thank you.
All right, that brings us to adjournment.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Please vote.
The motion passes unanimously.
Anyone aggrieved by the action of the Planning Commission has 10 days to appeal the decision in writing to the City Council. If any of the above actions are challenged in court, issues may be raised, are limited to those raised at the public hearing or in written correspondence delivered to the city at or prior to the public hearing. Judicial review of any city administrative decision may be had only if a petition is filed with the court no later than the 90th day following the date upon which the decision becomes final. Judicial review of environmental determinations may be subject to a shorter time period for litigation. That's all I have to read, right?
I think
Yeah.
nice.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays,
Happy
everyone.
holidays.
Happy holidays.